Pardon me. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing an updated stick and poke video. I uploaded a video of me doing my first ever stick and poke tattoo on YouTube in April, I think, 4 months ago, and it has blown up. Literally in the last like 4 days, it's gone from like 19,000 views to 28,000 views. Like, it's blowing up, it's getting really big. It's really big for me anyway. I've never had more than like 10,000 views on a video. And that was on like a video years and years ago. 29,000 views, 169. Wait. Since uploading that video, I've had a lot of DMs on Instagram, a lot of comments on the video, a lot of questions in general about like, did it hurt? How do they look now? Different things like that. Or how did that one look now? I actually have 2 now. So let's get into it. First question that I've been asked a lot is how much did it hurt? Actually doing it didn't actually hurt that much on my first one. On my second one, I did it on my finger. I'm going to show you as well. This one's way more recent. I did this just a few weeks ago. It's just a cross on my middle finger. So actually doing the first one didn't hurt too badly. It was like fairly relaxed actually. It kind of, my hand kind of went numb after a while, but it didn't really feel painful. I really didn't feel much pain with it at all. But that's because I wasn't going deep enough, and you have to be careful not to go too deep, but also not go deep enough, because then it doesn't show up as it should. So with my first one, I ended up having to go over it again like a few weeks later, and then again after that, like a couple of weeks after that, and now it's like as dark as I want it to be, and it isn't fading, and it's like staying put. It will fade obviously again, like it will get lighter than it is currently, but it's fairly good right now. It depends on your pain tolerance. I think mine's fairly good. I didn't find it too painful. However, my friend was literally like in excruciating pain with it because her pain tolerance isn't like really high. So I'd say it's probably like somewhere in between. It isn't like absolutely awful pain. It also isn't like comfortable. It's pretty sore, and it makes your hand ache, or wherever you're doing it, you know, your leg, if you're doing it on your leg, it makes the area of your body ache. A few days later, I found that with my first one it ached quite a lot. My wrist and my whole arm was really achy, and I worried that I'd hit a nerve or done something wrong. So I was worried that I'd fucked up on that one, but it was fine. It was just normal, like it just was in the place I'd done it. I don't know why it was on my wrist that it hurt like that after. But yeah, my arm really ached, like basically my entire, like this part of my arm all really ached. Kind of felt like I'd done like a big exercise on it and like weightlifting or something. It just, yeah, just ached. That's all I can explain it as. Once that went away, it was fairly decent. It's always a bit swollen after you do it. That's very normal, and it's always like red, and it usually does bleed a little bit, obviously, because you are jabbing a needle into your skin, like it's gonna bleed. But it isn't too bad. Like if it's bleeding a lot, then stop, because you're probably going too deep. But yeah, it will bleed a little bit, obviously. And it wasn't too painful. It was decent enough that I did it without too much pain. And then after about, I don't know, maybe like 3-4 days, the pain has gone away. I would say between like 4 days to a week, the pain's gone away, sometimes earlier. It just depends where it is. With my second one, the pain went away a lot quicker. With the first one, I had the aches for a little while, but it was fairly decent. What do they look like now? So I've just showed you this one. This one was done on, I can't remember the date. Yeah, it was the end of July, so currently it's scabbed up. This looks darker than it will be, and I've topped it up like 3 days ago. I think I topped it up, so currently it's looking darker than it will end up. It shouldn't be too much lighter than this, but when you first do it, you kind of, like most people, get like a scab over the top, which is like really dark, and then once the scab peels off, then you kind of have that kind of bluey tattoo colour underneath. You get what I mean? It's not blue, but it's kind of like a bluey blacky kind of colour. You kind of have that colour underneath, and that's like the permanent colour, and then that will fade a little bit, but it'll always be there. My other one, now that I've gone over it a couple of times, looks like this. Hold up. Is that visible? It looks like this. It's easiest to show you like that, because if I do this it looks like it's really slanted, and it's not, but that is like how the colour looks now. That's after 2 top-ups, so that's what I usually do. I usually do like the first, you know, actually making the tattoo, and then about 3 weeks later I will top it up, and then maybe like a week or 2 after that I'll top it up again. But yeah, it's pretty decent. You can see comes up pretty good. Some people have asked about top-ups. Obviously I've just answered that. Like, you do need to top them up usually, unless you go really deep, then I guess you don't need to, but most people need to top them up with stick and pokes. And actually with normal tattoos as well, most people go up for a top-up once it's like healed a little bit. A lot of people commented on that video and like DM'd me and stuff like, oh, I'm thinking of doing this. Please, like, please, I can't even express enough, take it seriously. It's not like a fun and game thing. Like, I know some people who literally just put them all over and they're like planning all these different ones, and personally for me, the main tattoos that I want, I'm waiting to get when I'm older and when I can go to a proper tattoo place. Yeah, it's definitely something that needs to be taken seriously. Don't just do it for the fun of it, because it is there permanently, and I know of people who have done the stick and pokes and then hated them and they're there forever. And I would say parental consent's important. I know some people won't get it. A lot of people have also asked, is it permanent? And the answer is hell yes, it's a tattoo. I don't get why people think that it's not permanent, because the way a tattoo is made is ink in a needle put in your skin. And just because you're doing it with your hand doesn't make that any different. It's still permanent, it's still going to last there forever. You're still putting the ink in your skin, and it's permanent tattooing, so like, you know, it's going to stay there. They will fade most likely, but yeah, most of my like older friends, my dad used to have some, my older friend, or like my mum's friend, Gus, also has some that he did when he was younger, and they're still very, very vivid. Two more things. So a lot of people have said, how does my mum feel about me having them? My mum is cool with it. She's totally chilled with it. I got her consent before I did it, and she was absolutely fine. So she's chilled with it, because at the end of the day, there's a lot bigger issues in the world than just doing stick and pokes. Yes? Come on then. This is my little cat, Jasper. He hates me. Final thing that I want to cover is aftercare. Aftercare for tattoos is pretty simple, and I'm actually kind of shitting, to be honest. What I use is Surgical Spirit, which is like rubbing alcohol in the UK. I just put a bit of that on a cotton pad and like wipe it across. Mainly on the first day I do it, and then like the day after that. And then after that I just do it like every so often, but you should really do it every day. Also, whenever I wash my hands, I make sure that I wash them in particular to keep them clean. And then I like to put Savlon on it when I can. I always do it like after I've just finished it, or if I've just topped it up, I make sure I clean it with the Surgical Spirit and then put Savlon on it. Savlon, by the way, is an antiseptic lotion if people don't know. Or sometimes I'll just put like hand cream on, or like non-scented hand cream, or like Charity Pot lotion from Lush, which is obviously not like a strong scent. Yeah, aftercare is pretty simple. You don't really have to do much, but it's also not very different from a normal tattoo. But yeah, I love my ones. I love both of them, and everyone who's like seen them has been like, oh yeah, they're really tiny, they're really cool. I'm gonna do a little close-up shot at the end of this video, just showing you the two tattoos that I have. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know if you're gonna stick and poke yourself in the comments, and what you're gonna do. And please be careful, like, please get the right stuff. Buy tattoo ink, buy Surgical Spirit, buy Savlon, buy actual sterilised tattoo needles. Don't be using a sewing pin and pen ink. Don't use a sewing pin and pen ink, because that is really toxic, and that can cause you a lot of issues. And for the price of like what the stuff costs, which is like £15 and under for all the stuff you need, then it keeps it healthy and it keeps you healthy, and it's way more worth it, and it will last longer too. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Mwah! Goodbye!